awareness, and offensively, Mizzou needs every possession, so they must take care of the basketball.
Diawara jump center for Norfolk, Galakalandi for Mizzou. Good officiating crew for this one, headlined by a young lady who was one of the officials for the 2024 National Championship game, Angelica Suffren. She's flanked by Nikesha Thompson and Meta Christensen. The opening tap is tapped backwards by Mizzou, and knifing in to scoop it up and lay it in was Richardson. And just like that, it's Norfolk State with a 2-0 lead.
That was a scoop and score, which we saw a lot of last night.
It's a theme, right? Spreading around the last 12 hours or so. First possession for Mizzou. Randall to the near short corner. Slaughter backs down the smaller Johnson. Elevates with the left hand off the glass and good. That's all day for the 6'2 Slaughter against the 5'5 Johnson.
I don't think that matchup will last long, or if it does, Mizzou's going to make a living.
2-2. About 30 seconds in. Randall covering Fields tightly on the perimeter, and the Mizzou man-to-man can't turn the corner on her. Fields still trying, goes hard to her right, tries to pass it out of a double team, and Randall just whacks that pass out of bounds and then barks at her afterwards. Terrific individual work from Randall.
As Randall gets more comfortable in this system, we're starting to see more and more of emotion. She's an aggressive, competitive player.
Still 13 to shoot. Norfolk having trouble on the inbound. Judd nearly got a piece of it. It's barely handed into Diawara. Underhand shovel to Johnson, who barrels into Wilson. Gets off a mid-range runner. No. Rebound Mizzou, but a foul on the box out committed by the Tigers. Galakalandi. That's the first foul of the game on either side.
I don't think the Tigers staff will be too upset with that. She's trying to jockey for position, doing a good job.
Fields inbounds to the corner, passing out of a trap. Diawara, reverse it out top to a 3 for Richardson. That's off to the right and out of bounds. Tigers get it back, looking for their first lead of the day, a little less than a minute in.
Excellent half-court defense. That was a good effort by everyone there to get the stop.
Nia Wilson, the starting point guard, the first 3 games of the season for the Tigers. Began her career at Syracuse, Mountain West Newcomer of the Year last season at New Mexico. Right side Randall, hard righty drive into a 10-foot teardrop that she shot about 8. The air ball scooped up by the Spartans. Here they come left to right. Fields on the far left wing, gets to the middle of the floor, now into the paint, gets the runner high off the glass, no good. Rebounds tapped out of bounds and off of Mizzou. Norfolk keeps it tied up at 2, 8:39 to go in the first.
He's doing a pretty good job of sealing up, but was not able to secure the ball that time.
Fields inbounding for the Spartans, lobs it all the way to the far corner to a wide open 3. It's off the back iron, though, from Richardson. Another fight for the board. This time it's tapped to Galakalandi for Mizzou. Outlets to Wilson, who looks to push, but Norfolk State is back quickly defensively. So she'll set up the half court. Gives to Galakalandi, top of the arc. Handoff to Slaughter on the right wing. Grace backs it out, now reversing it near wing to Judd. Judd looking to feed the post, but it's tipped and stolen. Now it's a foot race back left to right. Diamond Johnson barrels into Judd. Double pump layup, missed it. Off to the left. Rebound Slaughter for Mizzou.
Tigers have done a good job of challenging shots without fouling.
Slaughter brings it up, still covered by Johnson. Now on the switch, it's Richardson. Slaughter challenges her Euro step into a lefty runner off the back of the rim. No. Offensive board, Galakalandi throws it up and got fouled. 2 free throws for the Tigers, tied up at 2 minutes in.
I feel like Galakalandi is getting stronger every game, doing a nice job getting position and getting some extra offensive scoring opportunities.
Kathy, quick sub for Coach Vickers. Richardson out. Denasia Williams, a 5'9 junior from Brooklyn who started her college career at St. John's, checks in. Galakalandi so far this year just 1 of 4 from the free throw line. 2 seasons ago at UMass, led the Atlantic 10 in field goal percentage, hits the first free throw. Last year, started for Mizzou for 8 games, then hurt her arm against Virginia and wound up being done for the season. Got the medical red shirt, and here she is for year number 6 for her in college ball.
Officials clearing out the Tiger cheerleaders on the other end while the free throw is being assessed by Galakalandi.
Haven't seen that before be an issue. Another free throws in for Galakalandi, so she's got a couple. 4-2 Mizzou. Just under 8 minutes to play first quarter. Just underway here at Mizzou Arena. Tigers trying to hand Norfolk State their first loss. Good backdoor feed. Fields to a back-cutting Johnson. Layup no, but pushed from behind by Wilson on the foul. So Diamond Johnson to the free throw line, looking for her first points.
Johnson only 5'5", but she is quick and explosive. Got the backdoor cut. Wilson has to be disciplined. If you get beat, you can't reach in. You've got to trust your help side defense.
Johnson at the free throw line, rattles in the first. She was an 84% free throw shooter a year ago, and again averaged more than 20 points per game. She's had some big games against Power 5 competition in her past. I mean, obviously she played at a couple Power 5 schools. Misses the second free throw, rebounds out of bounds off of Norfolk. Mizzou ball up 4-3. Norfolk extending its pressure to three-quarter court. Randall in the backcourt against it, lobs it back to Wilson right side. Wilson, a jump pass over a double team, able to find Randall. Now on the near wing, Judd for the Tigers. Attacks along the baseline. Euro step into the paint. Kicks it far side to an open three for Slaughter. It's good. On the dime from Judd. And then a whistle afterwards as Galakalandi and a Norfolk player go down. And the official signals a double foul. It's going to be on Galakalandi. That's her second. And Diawara, that's her first. The basket is going to count for Mizzou. I believe after that it'll be, well, it's going to be Norfolk's ball, pardon me. And Galakalandi has to check out with 2 early fouls.
She's been really working hard on the offensive end. We just said that in the last possession where she got the offensive board. A little too much physicality by both players, according to the official.
Hannah Linthicum, 6'4" sophomore from Jefferson City, will take her place. Linthicum started most of last year after the Galakalandi injury. So the Tigers up 4. Johnson near wing now for the Spartans. A handoff deflected by Randall, but it gets to Fields. Fields drives and dishes to Johnson near corner. Back out to the top of the arc. Diawara wants a 3 and strokes it. McCoy Diawara, her first 3 of the season, she was 27% beyond the arc last year.
She caught that in rhythm and it had plenty of space.
7-6 Mizzou. 7 minutes to go first quarter. Near wing Slaughter for the Tigers. Back to the top of the arc to Judd. High post Linthicum turns and faces. Dribbles laterally along the foul line. Hands off to Wilson at the foul line now. To Judd, who dribbles it off a Norfolk player's foot. Tracks it down near midcourt. Shot clock down to 8. Judd zips it right side to Randall. Randall looks to attack along the baseline. Double team. Kicks it back to Wilson with 3 to shoot. Hoists up a rainbow 3 that airballs out of bounds. Ball back to Norfolk as the Spartans will try to reclaim the lead at the 6:39 mark of the first quarter.
Quick hands by Norfolk State, forcing the deflection. I do feel like the Tigers panicked a little bit there. 8 seconds, that's a long time, and Mizzou rushes a shot, doesn't get a good look.
Judd out. Abby Schreck in for the first time today, the 6-foot sophomore forward from Quincy, averaging 6 points per game in the young campaign. Here's Fields, covered by Randall. Goes hard to her right off a ball screen. Now a little push off, got away with it. Jacks up a 3 and left it short. Rebound Randall for the Tigers.
Randall really containing the ball up top.
She got knocked down, got up in time to hustle for the rebound. Wilson drives baseline at the other end. Kicks it to the left corner to Schreck. Now to Slaughter. Left wing drive to the block. Lefty runner from there off the back of the rim. Rebound Spartans.
The ball movement's much better for the Tigers.
Near wing at the other end. This is Wheeler, the conference player of the year. Cut off along the baseline by Linthicum. Needs some help. Bouncing it out to the top of the arc to a driving Williams. Euro step into the lane. Linthicum adjusts the shot. Forces the miss. Rebound Mizzou and a Norfolk foul.
The Tiger defense has been outstanding. They're really dictating the tempo of this game. And we're seeing greater ball movement, quicker ball movement on the offensive side.
7-6 Mizzou. 5:52 to play first quarter. Again, Norfolk State won the MEAC last year, won 27 games as well. Randall backs down the smaller defender, blows by her to her right and lays it in. First points for Randall today.
On the spin dribble, splits 2 defenders in the lane and gets to the paint.
Now Mizzou with some full court pressure, leading 9-6 with 5:32 to go first quarter. After the inbound, the Tigers fall back. Fields will bring it up. Covered by Slaughter, dribbles to her right. Backdoor bouncer, Johnson again able to get backdoor, lays it home.
Great spacing by Norfolk State, extending the floor and leaving that backdoor area open.
Mizzou trying to be more aggressive this year in terms of wing denials and things like that, but that can leave you vulnerable to backdoors sometimes. Tiger lead back down to 1. Slaughter on the near left wing off a Linthicum screen to the middle of the floor. Picks up the rock, covered tightly by Fields, muffed it, tracks it down back near midcourt. Handoff to Randall. Randall spins to her left, gets to the foul line with 5 to shoot. Now needs some help. Lobs to the corner to Schreck. Quick 17-footer up and short. Rebound tapped by Linthicum, but controlled by Norfolk State. And now the star guard Johnson brings it up against Wilson. Gives it over to Diawara. Now deeper on the far wing to Williams. Back out to the top of the arc, Johnson. Behind the back dribble, now steps back to an open 3. Online but short. Rebound. Randall had it. Diawara poked it away. Randall got it back for Mizzou. Outlets to Wilson. Mizzou has numbers if they hurry. Wilson right to left. Right in on Johnson. Shot fake at the block. Nearly traveled. Threw up a fadeaway instead and missed it back iron. Rebound Norfolk.
Fast tempo by both teams.
Here's Johnson walking it up for the Spartans. Mizzou leading by 1. 4:10 to go first quarter. Johnson off a ball screen, hesitates. Now Euro steps right into Linthicum's leg. Lost the ball. Hannah gets the steal. Hands it off to Wilson. Wilson gets to the free throw line, into the paint, up and under with the scooper, missed it wildly strong. Rebound Spartans. Now Norfolk has numbers if they want to hurry, and it appears they are a little bit tired. They're going to pass. And Wilson able to recover.
The pace has been a little bit much for Norfolk State, so Mizzou with their depth, that could be a huge factor going down the stretch.
Against the man-to-man, top of the arc, Fields for the Spartans, lobs it to the near corner. Williams trying to feed Wheeler in the paint, gets a touch around Linthicum. Nope, Hannah able to poke it away from behind out of bounds, and that will take us to a much-needed media timeout for the players that were out on the floor for the last couple of minutes. Mizzou 9, Norfolk State 8, 3:36 to play first quarter. This is Mizzou women's basketball on the Central Bank Tiger Network from Learfield.
Oh yeah, Dad Bod is hot.
Guys, don't believe it. Dad Bod is not hot. It's a lie. Just like...
You don't have to get me anything for Valentine's Day.
It's a trap. You're breathing heavy just walking up a flight of stairs. Your good suit doesn't fit anymore. In fact, the only suit that does fit is your birthday suit. And it looks horrific. Dish the Dad Bod with Como Compounding. They'll get you set up with a custom weight loss prescription so you can feel and look great. Como Compounding. Precision in every prescription.
The only thing worse than spending hours out in the cold struggling to put your Christmas lights up is spending hours out in the cold struggling to take them down. Maybe you could leave them out until it warms up and be that neighbor. Or you could call Salter Lawn Service. They'll custom cut lights just for your house, set them up, take them down, and even store them for you so you don't have to make any extra space, except for some hot cocoa.
Hey, this is Stacy Salter with Salter Lawn Service. One call, we do it all. SalterLawnService.com.
The Tigers play here, KTGR.
3:36 remaining in the first quarter. Mizzou here at Como, leading Norfolk State 9-8. What stands out to you so far?
Well, Mizzou hasn't scored in the last 2 minutes, but they've held Norfolk State 2 for 10 in the last few minutes as well. Mizzou's not shooting the ball well, but they are moving the ball well. They've just kind of not rushed their shots against the offense. Right now, everything's pretty even, 8-8 on the boards. The only thing that Mizzou really needs to make an adjustment is to not allow that backdoor wide open layup.
One thing that stands out a little bit is that both teams only have one turnover so far. Neither team shooting it great necessarily, but it's an encouraging sign in the turnover department for Mizzou after 26 giveaways in the loss against Vermont, 20 more turnovers in a win against Southern. Now, the positive is that Mizzou is forcing a lot more turnovers this season so far in general, but still, if you're consistently turning it over 20-plus times a game, it makes it really hard to win.
Well, that's going to get magnified by good teams who are going to make you eat that on the offensive end.
Mizzou Athletics would like to thank our premier partners, MU Healthcare and Shelter Insurance. Scores around the SEC. The big one is in Charlotte, where number 1 South Carolina is in the middle of a Final Four rematch with 9th-ranked NC State. The two teams are tied at 10 in the first quarter. Texas, ranked 4th in the country, finally opens its season today against SEMO, and the Longhorns are up 15-9 in Austin. Ole Miss 11, Pine Bluff nothing. 24th-ranked Alabama 17, Troy 6. Texas A&M leading Western Michigan 10-7. One final earlier today, Georgia defeating Furman 74-46. Norfolk State inbounding with a dying shot clock. Johnson down to 5. Shot taken on 3. One dribble, dishes it off. Wheeler has to shoot it, does from deep, misses it, off to the left. Rebound Linthicum for Mizzou. Outlets to Avery Kroenke, the Rockbridge product, at a guard spot is in for the first time today. Now it's Randall at the top of the arc. Randall goes hard to her right, in on Johnson. Cut off at the block, kicks it back to Kroenke. Avery attacks, gives it back to Schreck. Right wing 3, online and in for Abby Schreck. Tigers up 4.
Schreck is a muddy three-point shooter. She gets it in rhythm and knocks it down.
Not really super open either, but you said it, the rhythm was the key there. She didn't really care who was close to her. So it's 12-8 Tigers, under 3 minutes to go first quarter. Debria Clark is in for the Spartans, 5'7" sophomore from Baltimore. Now a pass left wing, 3-ball on the way, and it's Strong off the back iron. Long rebound tracked down by Mizzou. Here comes Schreck outletting to Kroenke. Avery quickly into the front court, into the paint, spins on Johnson a couple times, now looking for help. Still looking, finds Randall in the near wing. Lanaya to her left along the baseline. Barrels into the defender, double team come, back to Schreck, corner pocket, contested three off the top of the rim, no good. Rebounds tipped out of bounds and off of Mizzou.
We've seen this a little bit of a challenge for the Tigers in the last few games. The point guards are taking the ball too deep in transition and they get stuck They've got to either take it to the rim or they got to find those kickouts sooner.
6'2" redshirt senior from Ruther Glen, Virginia. Sky Robinson is in for the first time on the Spartan side. Judd is back in there for the Tigers, along with Kroenke, Hannah Linthicum, Schreck, and Randall. 12-8 Mizzou, 2:21 to go in the first quarter. Tigers have led the majority of the way, but no one's been up by more than 4 yet. High post Wheeler around a double team, and she double dribbled. So Mizzou sprung the double team on Clark near midcourt. She passed it to Wheeler, the forward, who double dribbled.
We're also seeing full court pressure from Mizzou consistently, and we're not getting a lot of steals from that or forcing turnovers, but it just wears them down and makes them have to run their offense in about half the time.
And I'll tell you what, with Kroenke and Randall out there, those are two of Mizzou's best defensive players. Here's Schreck on offense for the Tigers, top of the arc, picks up the dribble, trying to feed the post in a crowd, and it's tipped and stolen by Clark. Richardson in transition, gets around Schreck, and Abby fouls her on the layup attempt. That was a rough end-to-end sequence there for the sophomore. Tried to feed Linthicum when she was in no way open, and then commits the foul on the layup try at the other end.
Linthicum had a great steal to start with, but it was too late of a pass, and Norfolk's taking advantage.
Yeah, way too late. So Richardson will go to the free throw line. She was a MEAC all-rookie teamer as a freshman last year, the 5'8" guard. Averaged about 7 points per game for a squad that, again, won 27 games and made the NCAA tournament. She was a 64% free throw shooter. Makes the first here for point number 3 for Anjane today.
The half-court defense really overall has been outstanding for the Tigers, and this pace of the game, you would think, would start to wear Norfolk State down. I don't think they're as deep as what the Tigers are.
Spartan shooting just 23% from the field so far. Of course, Mizzou's only at 33% at the moment. Richardson makes both free throws. It's now 12-10 Tigers, 1:55 to go in the first. Randall, top of the arc against the Norfolk man-to-man. Fakes the handoff, now knifes to the basket, puts it off the glass, trickled in and out. Got her own rebound, though. Then her outlet pass is stolen by Richardson. Here come the Spartans left to right. Richardson's in the paint, backs it out, finds the trailer Robinson. Now top of the arc, Fields. Johnson, by the way, the star guard, is on the bench right now for the Spartans as Fields gets to the foul line, plays it near wing to Wheeler. Wheeler backs down Linthicum, spins to her left, throws it up wildly, misses it. Good D from Hannah, and she gets the rebound. That's poked away out of bounds by Robinson. Tigers will get the ball back.
Linthicum did a great job of using her length to keep vertical, not foul on the shot.
12-10 still Mizzou, 1:25 to go in the first. Tigers trying to get to 2-1 on the young season. Right wing, Schreck gets to the free throw line. Shot fake there. Now plays it back to the right wing to Kroenke. Avery to Schreck. Now to the near wing to Judd. Judd fakes left, goes right, gets in the paint. Shot fake there. 10-foot fadeaway with the left hand is short. Rebound, Spartans. Both teams struggling shooting the ball in the early going here today. Norfolk State a chance to tie or take the lead back. Fields top of the arc. She wants it all. 3-ball up off the backboard and in for Nia Fields, who was 38% from 3 last year, but I doubt she banked in a whole lot of those. Kroenke quickly back the other way, gives to Judd on the trail. 19-foot leaner is off to the right, and it's out of bounds on the rebound try off of Mizzou. So Norfolk State gets it back, up 13-12, 42 seconds to go in the first quarter.
It's not like the Tigers are getting bad shots, but they're rushing their shots. They're not getting them in rhythm, and you got to credit the Norfolk State defense.
Mizzou has missed 7 of its last 8 shots. Both teams now 27% from the field. Double team comes on Clark, and Kroenke ties her up. Great job by the Tigers. Kroenke was the on-ball defender. Judd brought the trap from behind, and Clark basically had the deer in the headlights look, and Kroenke was able to tie her up. The arrow points back to Mizzou.
Avery was calling jump ball, as well as the entire bench.
Yeah, it was also right in front of the Mizzou bench, so it almost felt like a triple team. Shot clock is about 2 seconds shorter than the game clock, so Mizzou's going to milk this about as long as it can here, down by 1. 15 on the game clock, 13 on the shot clock now. Kroenke at the point on the Tiger Oval at Mizzou Arena. Off a ball screen to her right. Kroenke with 6 to shoot, 5. Drives on Robinson, lost her footing and lost the ball. Wheeler tries to outlet it. It's tipped. Gets it back. Gets it to midcourt to Clark. Attacks. 25-foot runner is off to the right. And that's the end of the first quarter with Norfolk State leading here at Mizzou 13-12. This is Mizzou women's basketball on the Central Bank Tiger Network from Learfield.
What does it mean to be locally owned and operated? For Cenex, it means everything. It means that we know if you take your coffee to go or if you like to stay a while. It means we've helped Little Leagues get jerseys and local festivals get funding. It means we know what our communities need. So you'll always leave Cenex with a full tank, full of snacks, or full of smiles. Or all of the above. And that means the world to us. Cenex, powered locally.
It's game day, Tigers. Score big with fast check-ins, short security lines, and nonstop flights on American Airlines right here in Columbia. Whether you're traveling for the next big game or a quick getaway, Columbia Regional Airport gets you there easier and without the drive. Take the home court advantage to the skies at flycou.com. Columbia Regional Airport. There sooner, home faster.
The most powerful ideas come from understanding. By asking what's important here. At Great Southern Bank, we start by asking our customers to find out how we're doing and what they really need. Then we get to work, making banking easier and more effective, financing more flexible, and our communities better places to live. It's an ongoing team effort to keep improving how we serve our neighbors day after day. And it all starts with understanding what really matters. Learn more at greatsouthernbank.com. Member FDIC.
Now back to the Tigers on KTGR.
One quarter in the books here at Mizzou Arena. The Tigers trailing Norfolk State 13-12. With Kathy Wiesen, I'm Brad Trinago. Aiden O'Connor running things for us at KTGR headquarters in South Columbia. Both teams so far not exactly putting on an offensive clinic.
No, but I will credit the Tiger defense doing a really good job. They've held Norfolk State to 27%. They haven't allowed any second chance opportunities, so good job there. Offensively, they've got to have more composure and not allow Norfolk State's defense to speed them up.
Looks like Tilda Sjokvist is going to check in next dead ball, the 5'7" junior from Sweden who was the leading scorer for Presbyterian last season. She had 3 assists in the game against Southern on Thursday. What did you like about her when she was on the floor?
I feel like she has great composure. She has good vision of the floor. She's patient and just seems to have a really high basketball IQ.
We're brought to you by Shelter Insurance, ranked #1 in customer satisfaction for auto insurance in the Central Region by J.D. Power. 6 out of the last 7 years. We're your shield. We're your shelter. So Sjokvist in for the first time today. Also in for the first time, Hilke Feldrapa, the 6'3" sophomore forward from Germany. Those two joined by Hannah Linthicum, Slaughter, and Judd. Norfolk State with the ball as we start the second quarter. Again, the Spartans up by 1. Fields goes to her left for the Spartans. Hands it back to the leading scorer for this team a year ago, Diamond Johnson. Off a ball screen now, finds an open teammate for 3, but it's a little strong from Williams. Rebound in the corner from Slaughter for Mizzou.
The rebounding effort for the Tigers is much improved. 5 players stealing off consistently.
Sjokvist at the point, goes to her left, hands it off to Judd. Judd, one dribble and a dish far wing to Feldrapa. Hilke back to Judd, reverse to Slaughter. One more pass to the corner where Sjokvist has a 3-ball try, but it's strong. Barely nicks the iron. Rebound along the baseline, double team, but Norfolk State gets it out of there to Johnson. Advance it ahead to Williams. Barrels into Sjokvist. Offensive foul. Way too aggressive from Williams, pardon me. Just put a shoulder down into Sjokvist's chest, sent her sprawling, and the ball going back to Mizzou.
Honestly, I didn't know that Sjokvist had the greatest positioning on that, but it was the extra lowering of the shoulder that made the difference.
So it's still 13-12 Norfolk State with 9:20 to go in the second quarter.
That's what I like about her. It's her toughness as well.
Top of the arc, Linthicum for the Tigers. Dribbles to her right, hands it off to Slaughter. Shot fake on a right wing 3, then gets her pocket picked. Nice hands from Diawara. Gives it off to Johnson now. No real numbers, so she'll slow it up. Gives to the trailing Fields on the near right wing. Fields calls out the play. Has a ball screen if she wants it. She does to her left. Now picks up the dribble. Plays it back near midcourt to Johnson. Johnson covered by Feldrapa on the switch. Driving a dish to an open 3 in the corner. That won't go either for Williams. On the fight for the rebound, a foul on Mizzou.
Good effort, second effort of getting to the offensive glass by Norfolk State. But you will see the Norfolk State players, many of them are winded right now. So this pace favors the Tigers. They just have to improve their execution.
And for the first time as a Tiger, we see Tiana Herron, the 6'4" sophomore from DeSoto, Texas. Started her career at Kentucky. Limited action last year at Texas. Big frame at 6'4". We'll see how much she plays. Inbound on the back door, sneaking behind Slaughter was Robinson. Doesn't shoot it, kicks it back to a 3 instead. That misses for Johnson. Rebound, Feldrapa for Mizzou. Ahead to Sjokvist on the right wing. Right block, Herron gets a touch, bowls into the defender, spins to her right and gets her shot blocked. by Robinson. Now she dives with a loose ball and gets called for a quick travel. So Mizzou gets the ball back. Coach Pinchton talking to Heron and giving her a fist pump. Like what she saw on the move, the Mizzou bench hoped for a foul, didn't get it.
Yeah, I really thought there was some arm there because that ball didn't go very high.
So Mizzou does get the ball back, though. Still down 1, 8:29 to go, second quarter. Shokvist inbounding, gives it back near midcourt to Slaughter. Now handoff to Shokvist. Shokvist, as Mizzou still trying to get organized here offensively. Give it to Judd on the far right wing. The West Plains native goes to her left, double team there, gets it out of there to Shokvist. Good skip all the way to the near corner to Slaughter. Shot fake on a 3, baseline drive, Euro step through the D, and her shot is blocked. I think that was Amari Smith on the help, the 5'10 sophomore from Newport News, Virginia.
Norfolk State had 5 blocks in their last game. They're very athletic and challenge every shot.
8 seconds on the shot clock now for Mizzou, still trailing by 1 in this low-scoring first half. Shokvist inbounding underneath the basket to our left, needing some help, finding it in Slaughter. Slaughter with about 30 feet out with 5 to shoot, goes to her left with 3, with 2, gives to Shokvist, who has to shoot it, and she's not even going to be able to get a shot off in time. She was covered so tightly by Johnson.
Norfolk State aggressive in the passing lanes, didn't allow any pass to come underneath the basket and force that pass to go to almost half court.
So it's interesting, you look at the top 3 in terms of points allowed last season. Vermont was number 2. Norfolk State was number 3. And we're seeing that defense carry over with all these returners from last year's team for the Spartans. Here's Smith for Norfolk to a 3-ball for Fields on the left wing. That won't go either as Norfolk is down to 2 of 12 from beyond the arc. Rebound Heron for Mizzou. Out to Shokvist, top of the arc Heron. Dribbles to her right. The big post player handing it off to Judd. Judd on the perimeter, attacks to her right. Barrels in underneath the bucket, throws it up and draws the foul. Good work by Ashton Judd to draw the contact, and she'll try to break this long Mizzou scoring drought at the free throw line. Fallon Smith is her first.
Both teams just really sitting in their stance and not allowing the other teams to get comfortable in their offense.
Mizzou has not had a field goal in the last 6 minutes almost of play as Judd misses on their first free throw try. That was an Abby Schreck three-pointer. Yeah, Mizzou hasn't scored since then, so nearly a 6-minute scoring drought period. Judd ends that finally with that free throw. Point number 1 for Judd. 13 all, 7:26 to go in the second quarter. Neither team has led by more than 4 so far. Top of the arc, touch for Wheeler. She wants it again from 3 and now got that one to go. First 3 for Wheeler, the MEAC player of the year a season ago.
Mizzou had a hard time recovering on the screen and roll, which allowed her space.
7 minutes to go in the half. Mizzou down 3. Shokvist drives baseline, tries to skip it to Judd. Pass is deflected, but luckily back to Shokvist. Now to Randall, to Judd. 3-ball for the tie. It's in there for Ashton Judd's first field goal.
I like to see Ashton Judd warm up because she's a streaky shooter, and once she gets going, it's hard to stop her.
Mizzou now 3 of 6 from beyond the arc, but just 26% from the field overall. 16 all, 6:38 to go second quarter. Johnson to her right, driving a dish. Wheeler again for 3. This one's strong. Rebound tapped to Randall for Mizzou. Outlets it to Shokvist, who's been at the point this entire second quarter so far. Tilly hands it off near wing to Slaughter. Grace to her right, hands it off to Judd, middle of the floor, back to Slaughter. Slaughter goes to her left, covered by the shorter Johnson on the perimeter. Now to Randall to her right. Lanaya with 8 to shoot. Steps back to a contested 19-footer that's blocked. Ball scooped up by Norfolk State. Outlets it to Fields. Brings it up left to right. Stops at the arc. Quick contested 3. Bang. Naya Fields with her second three-pointer today. 19-16 Spartans.
She does not need much room to be in rhythm there.
Norfolk not afraid to fire from deep. 15 threes, 7 twos so far for the Spartans today. Mizzou down 3. Slaughter top of the arc for Mizzou. Gives it to Heron. Backs down the defender. Muscles her way into the paint. Throws it up against the contact and got it. First points as a Tiger for Tree Heron were not easy.
She's working inside.
19-18 Norfolk State. 5:25 to play second quarter. Top of the arc Fields. Looks down in the paint for Wheeler. Challenging Heron. Gets around her. Up and under. Missed it. Fight for the rebound. Heron was over the back and bumped Wheeler. Foul number 1 on Heron.
never going to get much luck when you're reaching behind. Again, you got to trust your teammates and keep those feet moving down low.
Nice minutes overall from Heron in her Mizzou debut. We'll talk more about her journey coming up here at the next time out. She subs out Hannah Linthicum back in for her. Meanwhile, for Mizzou, Nia Wilson, the starting point guard, back in for Shokfest, who also, I thought, did some good things at the point here in that second quarter.
She's a steady presence when she's running the point.
Johnson inbounds on top of the arc. Wheeler hands it off to Richardson. Spartans up 1 with the ball. 5:12 to go, second quarter. Richardson gives to Wheeler, 15 feet out. Backs down the shorter Randall. Steps back to a contested 12-footer. Wow, that's too good from Mimi Wheeler.
Randall couldn't have done anything much better there. Had a hand in the shot and didn't let her get to the paint.
21-18, Norfolk State. 4:55 to go, second quarter. Randall gives to Hannah Linthicum. She has that range. She'll try it from 3, but it's short. Fight for the rebound. Randall's got the position. She's got the ball. She's got the basket and the foul.
She loves to compete, and the more physical it gets, the brighter she shines. Outstanding second shot opportunity.
Johnson had no chance to keep Randall off the glass. That's foul number 1 on her. Randall will have a free throw for the tie when you come back. Norfolk State leading 21-20, 4:49 to go, second quarter. This is Mizzou women's basketball on the Central Bank Tiger Network from Learfield.
Hey, construction dude, congrats on the killer contract in Cape. Sweet. So, how are you going to get that Mongo crane down to the job site? Here's a haul of an idea. Just Google I-70 Towing. They're Mid-Missouri's go-to crew for heavy equipment hauling, too. Semis, dozers, RVs, goosenecks, farm and construction stuff, school buses, boats, bring it. If you use it, they can move it. Call the team they think you'll really love to meet. I70towing.com. Goosenecks. Give me some long necks.
It was 11 a.m. on a Monday when the phone rang. Brian Ware Plumbing answered the call. It was awesome. The guy on the phone said he'd been reading Brian's Google reviews and knew exactly who to call. I mean, yeah, Brian Ware has a 4.9 rating with over 900 reviews. People say the nicest things on the internet. It would be 5 stars, honestly, except for that one review from a guy named Bob Smith. We'll just call him BS for short. Better call Brian and unplug your plumbing problems. BrianWarePlumbing.com.
Tiger basketball plays here. KTGR.
Good back and forth battle so far between Norfolk State and Mizzou at the 4:49 mark of the second quarter. The Tigers trailing the Spartans 21-20. This game brought to you by MU Healthcare, where over 800 doctors and 80-plus specialties never settle when it comes to your health. And speaking of health, let's talk a little bit more about Tree Heron's journey. So she was one of the top recruits in the nation when she committed to Kentucky a couple of years ago. She winds up having open heart surgery in August of 22, never winds up playing a game for Kentucky, able to recover enough to join the Texas Longhorns, played 11 games as a reserve there, hits the transfer portal, and now she's here at Mizzou. But a pretty remarkable run for that young lady. She says when she's done with basketball, she wants to be an ultrasound technician. She got so many of them on herself, she wants to now be able to help others.
There's so many stories where people go through something medically where they join the field. You know, she's 6'4", she has a great frame on her. The more she gets into shape, the more she's going to be a factor for this team. You can see all the potential there, but it's just going to take a little time for her to get that going.
Subscribe to the Inside Mizzou Athletics podcast presented by Shelter Insurance, the official podcast of Mizzou Athletics. Hot takes, interviews, and much more with Matt Michaels and me, as well as Mizzou Storytellers with Dave Matter and Loretta Jones. Be sure to subscribe today wherever you listen to the Inside Mizzou Athletics podcast. I had a chance to talk one-on-one with a few Mizzou women's basketball players as part of the pod. Put back and got fouled. Randall, so far this season, is 5 of 8 from the charity stripe. All Missouri Valley with the Salukis a year ago. She was second in the conference in scoring, third in rebounding, fifth in steals.
She's going to be a double-double machine for these Tigers. She had her first Mizzou double-double the other night, her 13th career.
Hit the free throw, 21 all, 4:42 to go in the second quarter. Left wing for the Spartans, it's Richardson, comes all the way to the right side, behind the back dribble, challenging the bigger Judd. Ashton won't let her turn the corner. Richardson plays it back on the perimeter to Wheeler, hand off to Richardson. She's going to try again to her right, picks up the rock, back to Wheeler with 5 to shoot. Barrels into Judd's chest, offensive foul. Terrific anticipation from Judd to pick up that whistle.
Give Judd all the credit in the world. That was outstanding. But I got to give a shout out to Hannah Linthicum, because the reason these screen and rolls are not working and Norfolk State's not getting to the basket is because she's doing a tremendous job of hedging the screens and then recovering back to her man.
Hannah hasn't scored, but her minutes have been terrific so far off the bench down low. Foul number 2 on Wheeler, by the way, Conference Player of the Year a season ago. She's going to stay out there covering Hannah Linthicum, who's got the ball top of the arc for the Tigers. Right wing Slaughter. In deep, Randall goes to her right against the smaller Johnson. Throws it up with the left hand, missed it. Rebound Wheeler for the Spartans.
Good take. Just in traffic, it was hard to finish, but a nice effort.
Had 5'5" Johnson on her back, couldn't score it. Now Johnson attacks Randall, bounce it down low to a cutting Robinson in the paint, who travels before the shot. Ball back to Mizzou. We're still tied up at 21, 3:56 to go in the second.
Again, the team defense helping early is helping to generate some of these turnovers.
4 ties, 2 lead changes in this game. Neither team is led by more than 4. Wilson on the near left wing for the Tigers. Top of the arc to Linthicum. Dribbles to her right, handoff to Judd beyond the arc. Ashton, 1 dribble and a dish to Slaughter. Grace goes to her right, under 10 on the shot clock as Grace gets in the paint. Steps through to her left, powers it off the glass, but strong. Grace has been off so far in this game. Rebound, Norfolk. Wheeler outlets it near wing. Judd knifes it and steals it. Gives it back to Wilson. Now the Tigers look to attack right to left, but no numbers. Wilson slows it up. Now drives, gives it to the corner to Judd. Judd attacks the paint, throws it up against a double team. I think she got tied up. She did. And the arrow will keep it with Mizzou as, again, Norfolk State applying some tough defense.
That's why the shooting percentage for the Tigers right now is 28%, because anytime that ball goes into dribble penetration for the Tigers, they're double teaming.
A couple Spartan starters are back in there, Fields and Diawara. 21 all, 3:16 to go second quarter. Wilson inbounding for Mizzou. Gives to Judd in the corner, dribbles into a double pump 13-footer, threw it off the side of the backboard. Rebound Fields for Norfolk State. Fields with the eyes up as she dribbles into the front court. Covered by Slaughter. Off a ball screen to her left. Gets to the free throw line. Steps back now to an 18-footer splash for Nia Fields, who leads all scorers with 8 points.
Fields has great composure on the floor. Doesn't seem to rush at any point.
Wilson goes hard to her right. Turns the corner on Diawara. Shot fake, then throws it up and gets it blocked by Wheeler.
Outstanding help side D by Wheeler.
Here come the Norfolk State Spartans the other way. Johnson, the preseason Conference Player of the Year this go-around. Goes away from a ball screen, drives and dishes it all the way to the far corner for 3, and it's in there for Anjanae Richardson, and a quick timeout for Robin Pinchton and the Tigers as Mizzou now facing its largest deficit of the day of 5 points. And in a low-scoring game like this, 5 points feels like a big run.
Well, both teams just are having a dogfight on the defensive end both times, and that time Norfolk State with a great cross-court baseline pass are able to separate.
Again, we're going to stay busy here at Mizzou Arena. Men's hoops hosting Eastern Washington tomorrow night. That's a 6 o'clock tip, 5:30 broadcast start here on KTGR on the Varsity Network app. And then Mizzou women's hoops returns to action against Tulane on Tuesday. That's also a 6 o'clock tip. That'll wrap up the homestand. Then the Tigers will hit the road on Friday of this coming week for a matchup in Macomb against Western Illinois.
We're in the middle of 9 games in 22 days. It is a stretch, and that's why you see both teams probably a little tired here. A lot of games back-to-back early in the season.
Wilson, Randall, Judd, Linthicum, and Slaughter are the 5 Tigers on the floor. So that's 4 starters, and then Linthicum in for Galakalandi, who picked up 2 very early fouls down low today for Ole Mizzou.
Norfolk State 3 their last 3, 0 for 4 for the Tigers, and that's why there's a separation.
Near elbow Randall goes to her right, challenging Diawara at the block. Now a fadeaway spinning to her left. It's short. Rebound Spartans. Fields trots it up. She's been the best player on the floor so far in this game, even though she wasn't hyped to be that way. She's got it left wing now, gives to the corner to Richardson. Richardson brings it out to the wing with Wilson on her. Now give it off to the screener Wheeler for an 18-footer that's short. Good box out by Mizzou. Judd has the board. Hit from behind, I believe, by Johnson, or was it just knocked out of bounds? Just knocked out of bounds, so no foul, but it will be Mizzou ball.
Tigers are in a 3-minute-plus scoring drought. Coach Pinchton talked in the pregame about how every possession matters. And so what they do offensively with the ball here, really important to get the best shot possible.
Schreck and Heron sub in for Linthicum and Randall on the Mizzou side. Tigers down 5. 1:49 to go in a tightly contested first half here at Mizzou Arena. Heron hands it off to Slaughter, middle of the floor. Grace picks it up top of the arc, needs some help, finds it in Schreck on the right wing. Abby now at the top of the arc with the shot clock under 10. Plays it right wing to Slaughter. Slaughter tries to go left, can't do it. Now tries to split a double team and gets stripped by the helping Johnson. Johnson brings it back left to right, gets to the three-point arc and slows it up. Johnson picks up the dribble, lobs it top of the arc to Fields. Fields with 1:17 to go in the first half. One-on-one against Judd, goes to her right, tries to hand it off and lost the ball. It's scooped up by Heron. Good D for Mizzou to gum up that play. Judd went down hard there in just an inadvertent contact situation. Now she has it on offense to Slaughter. In deep, Heron just bowls into the defender, throws it off the glass and in. How about Tree Heron off the bench with 4 points?
When she occupies real estate down low, you're not going to stop that shot.
That's a luxury Mizzou has not had, a 6'4" player with her frame. 26-23 Norfolk, 45 seconds to go in the half. Fields at the top of the arc for the Spartans, off a ball screen to her right, challenging Heron, gets to the block, elevates with the right hand, way short, rebound tapped a couple times to Wilson for Mizzou. Wilson gets across midcourt, then she's double teamed, passing it laterally right along the midcourt line, just barely avoiding it, gets it to Judd. Judd into a double team, just lost the ball. Scooped up by Fields. Shot clock's off. Spartans still looking to attack. Richardson back to Wheeler, and now Norfolk State will slow it up. Top of the arc, Johnson with 12 seconds to go in the half. Johnson with Slaughter on her. Johnson says clear out. She likes this matchup with 6. Goes to her left with 4. Gets in the paint. Scoops it up off the back of the rim. No. Tip, no. Out of bounds to Mizzou with 1.6 seconds to go in the first half.
Likely see some type of a home run pass or a half-court pass here.
Delilah Brown was going to sub in, and now she won't. Mizzou, again, with just 1.6 seconds to try and add on to their scoring total in this first half, trailing by 3. Slaughter will throw it in. Grace looking, just chucks it deep. Judd makes the catch, attacks, gets off a 19-foot runner that's short.
Great effort.
About as good as you can ask for in that situation, just unable to hit it. And a game that's about as tight as we were thinking it could be through the first 20 minutes. It's Norfolk State with the lead, 26-23. This is Mizzou women's basketball on the Central Bank Tiger Network from Learfield.
Their go-to game day outfit. Maybe it's a comfy black and gold hoodie or that old hat you wear because it still hasn't been to a losing game. Hi, this is Sophie Cunningham, and if you really want to stand out on game day, talk to the team at Betts Jewelers in downtown Columbia. Rock your favorite team's colors with a beautifully designed, one-of-a-kind custom piece of jewelry from Betts Jewelers in downtown Columbia, our hometown jeweler. MIZBETZ.
It's beautiful moments begin.
Get the passing in the perimeter going before they dribble penetrate. And I'll tell you, the one stat that's going to stand out at the end of the game, Brad, is we cannot be even on the boards with them. Mizzou's going to have a dominating rebound performance this half to separate.
Looks like the starting 5 for both teams to begin this third quarter, too. So that's Fields, Johnson, Richardson, Diawara, and Wheeler for Norfolk State. And for Mizzou, Slaughter, Randall, Wilson, Judd, and Galakalandi. Angie, again, only played about 2 minutes of that first half due to foul trouble. And we have an early delay here.
I believe there's a nose ring that has to come out before the ball can be inbounded by Norfolk State.
All right, Diawara takes care of the nostril, and we're all set here to begin this third quarter of action. Again, the Spartans with the ball on a 3-point lead. Inbound goes in the backcourt to Fields. Fields over on the far right wing. Off the screen now to her left. Looks down low to the rolling Wheeler. Powers it up over a double team and in. And Wheeler yelling as she goes down the other way. Randall, meanwhile, slow getting up for Mizzou. She's helped up by Randall. The officials not stopping play right now, and Randall trying to hobble back and play through it.
She stepped on a foot on the defensive end.
Top of the arc, Wilson goes back to her right. Mizzou down 5, just underway second half. Randall top of the arc, high-low lob. Galakalandi seals off the defender and draws the foul on Wheeler as Coach Vickers is all the way across midcourt, almost to the edge of Robin Pinchton's coaching box, thinking that foul should have been on Galakalandi instead. That's the first sideline warning for Coach Vickers after that. and Galakalandi drawing the foul.
I believe they're the two that had the double foul early, so they are getting after it right away from the start.
Well, that's a huge whistle. So Wheeler, the forward, the MEAC Player of the Year a season ago, commits her third at the 9:24 mark of the third quarter. Inbound Galakalandi challenging Wheeler, who blocks the shot, gets her own rebound as Galakalandi, and scores it over Wheeler. And especially with the 3 fouls, you've got to work that matchup as much as you can.
Great composure and second effort by Galakalandi.
28-25 Norfolk, 9:07 to go in the third. Here is Richardson, middle of the floor, gets it near wing. Fields got lost. Wide open 3 is in for Norfolk's best shooter today, Nia Fields. That's her third 3 of the game.
Biggest lead of the game again at 6 for Norfolk State.
8:51 to go in the third. Wilson at the top of the arc for the Tigers. Dribbles to the right wing. Randall appears to be doing okay there after she was hobbling on the first possession of this second half. Dribbles to her right, cut off by Richardson. Now attacks to her left, gets in the paint, bounces it back to Slaughter, to Randall on the post against the smaller Richardson. Hooks it up short. Good help from Wheeler. Rebound Spartans.
That was a better effort by the Tigers.
And now Wheeler beats Galakalandi down the floor, gets the ball and lays it up and in. 8-point lead for Norfolk State.
Cannot be casual getting back in transition.
A 7-2 run for Norfolk State to start this second half. And Mizzou in a little bit of early trouble here against the defending MEAC champions. Wilson gives it to the corner to Randall. Galakalandi posting up, but the ball goes to Wilson instead. Wilson goes to her left, gets to the elbow, spins back into the paint. Good feed down low to Galakalandi for the layup.
Again, that came off a great ball reversal. The more the Tigers get those ball reversals, the more things will open up.
33-27 Spartans, 7:47 to go third quarter. Norfolk State with the basketball. Fields, who has 11 points to lead all scorers, picked up by Judd, right wing. Bounce it to the right short corner. Wheeler steps back to a 13-footer short. Rebound Slaughter for the Tigers. Outlets to Wilson. Gliding into the front court up the near sideline to the trailing Slaughter. To Galakalandi, stealing down low, goes to her left and throws it up and in. Another basket to start the third quarter for Angie.
Much better movement of getting the ball up court quickly.
That's what Galakalandi can bring to the table. Terrific footwork and touchdown low. Mizzou down by 4 now. 7:12 to go in the third. Near wing Richardson, deeper near wing Wheeler. Back top of the arc Diawara, reverses to Fields right side. Fields to the paint. Wheeler goes in on Galakalandi and scoops it up in reverse with the right hand and scores it. It's a post battle on both ends now.
Battle of the bigs inside.
Wheeler playing with 3 fouls, by the way. So, again, that's something where you got to continue to try to exploit it, I think. Tigers down 6, 6:47 to go third quarter. Randall at the free throw line. Faces up on Diawara, blows by her with the right hand and lays it home.
She's doing a little barking when she gets confidence. She needs to rein that in a little bit, but I like the attitude and the aggressiveness.
After all the defense we saw in the first half, both offenses taking off here in the third. Tigers down 4. Johnson goes hard to her right, turns the corner on a double team, throws it high off the glass and in the foul. Diamond Johnson, just 3 first half points. That one was pretty, though, and she'll head to the line with her team up by 6.
This team for Norfolk State is working hard, but they're not that deep, and you can see them sucking some oxygen right now. Mizzou's got to take advantage of it.
Johnson, in previous stops at NC State and Rutgers, dropped 22 at Iowa against Caitlin Clark and them girls. 20 points, 8 boards in a win over Notre Dame while she was playing for NC State. It's the free throw. Tigers down 38-31. 6:23 to play third quarter. Norfolk State has switched to a zone defense. Here's Judd for the Tigers. On the perimeter to Slaughter. Back to Judd. Judd dribbles to her right, trying to find a seam in the zone. Skips it all the way to the far side. It's tipped, but it gets to Wilson. Now Wilson attacks the paint. Up and under, gets the runner off, but it's way short. Rebound, Spartans.
And the ball comes inside.
Walk-up 3 for Johnson. It's short. Rebound, Judd had it knocked away, and she got her arm knocked away, too. That's a foul on Norfolk State. What were you saying, Kathy?
When it comes inside for the Tigers against that zone, there's kickouts everywhere. Mizzou's got to recognize it.
Foul number 2 off the bench for Denijah Williams. And that's the second team foul on Norfolk State in this third quarter. So Mizzou facing a deficit for a good chunk of the middle portion of this game. Currently down 7, 5:43 to go in the third. High post Judd against the zone. Turns and faces. Now looking for a cutting Galligalandi, makes the catch right underneath the bucket and gets tied up by Diawara. And then both teams physically trying to dislodge the basketball there, Diawara and Galligalandi. The possession arrow will keep it with Mizzou.
Those jump balls are only supposed to last to the length of the whistle, and it's hard for either player to back off.
Shot clock at 12 as Wilson looks to inbound for the Tigers. Lob on the perimeter, barely gets it to Judd. Judd now attacks the cup. 12-foot teardrop trickles in for Ashton Judd, who has 6 points today.
Mizzou back within 3.
5-point game, 38-33, no problem. 5:25 to go, third quarter. There have been so many points in this third quarter, it's hard to keep up right now. Fields to the corner to Williams. Williams to the paint, bad pass intended for Wheeler, threw it away to Randall, and then a reach-in foul committed by Norfolk State's Diawara. That's her second, team's third. When you get to 5 team fouls, remember it's the bonus, so maybe Mizzou can pick up some points at the foul line later on this quarter too. Slaughter out, Schreck in at a wing for the Tigers. Randall will inbound, I believe, for Mizzou, as Coach Vickers continuing to plead his case on the Norfolk State side of things.
Norfolk State in a 1-2-2, so you got to find out either overload it to one side of the floor or find an advantage down on the baseline.
Wilson on the far left wing finds Schreck off a screen, top of the arc. Reverse it near side to Judd. High post Galligalandi, reverse it to Schreck, to the corner to Wilson. Wilson back to Schreck, top of the arc to Judd. Skip it back to the corner. Nia Wilson's open. Left corner 3, off the front of the rim. Rebounds out of bounds off of Mizzou. Spartans get it back, leading 38-33, but first a break. 4:53 to go in the third quarter. Tigers trying to get back in this thing on the Central Bank Tiger Network from Learfield.
The most powerful ideas come from understanding. By asking what's important here. At Great Southern Bank, we start by asking our customers to find out how we're doing and what they really need. Then we get to work, making banking easier and more effective, financing more flexible, and our communities better places to live. It's an ongoing team effort to keep improving how we serve our neighbors day after day. And it all starts with understanding what really matters. Learn more at greatsouthernbank.com. Member FDIC.
Tigers fans, say aloha to Hawaiian Bros Island Grill, where the island-inspired flavors are positively delicious. You'll love favorites like huli huli chicken, marinated in their signature teriyaki sauce, or luau pig, featuring tender, slow-roasted kalua pork. Bounce by after the game just south of campus on Grindstone Parkway, or order at HawaiianBros.com. Hawaiian Bros is open late and ready to serve you with aloha spirit. Hawaiian Bros, it's a vibe.
The Club at Old Hawthorne is a terrific golf course with amazing practice facilities, which is why the Mizzou golf teams play here. Here's what you might not know. The Club at Old Hawthorne is a community with a welcoming environment that's a perfect fit for an active lifestyle. Golf, tennis, pickleball, swimming, and a fitness center with classes all at one club. The Club at Old Hawthorne. Visit oldhawthorne.com to learn more or schedule a tour. I'm Mike Kelly, the voice of the Missouri Tigers. How much do I love Old Hawthorne? I live here.
Now back to the Tigers on KTGR.
4:53 to go in the third quarter. Norfolk State leading here at Mizzou by a score of 38-33. We've seen roughly the same number of points in this third quarter already that we saw in each of the first 2 quarters through 10 minutes.
Things are warming up, or else the defenses are getting a little more tired. But Mizzou does come out at 56%, so more efficient. However, Norfolk State came out 5 for 7 from the field at 72%. Mizzou's got to find a way to slow them down.
Galligalandi all of a sudden is Mizzou's leading scorer with 8 points in just over 7 minutes of play. What is she bringing to the table down low?
She's doing a great job of getting position low, really challenging Wheeler, who has 3 fouls, which could be critical going forward in the game. Just taking up space down low and battling.
Central Bank is your hometown bank and the only place for Tiger checking. Open it today at tigerchecking.com. Mizzou back home in 2 nights for a matchup against Tulane. That'll be a 6 o'clock tip-off. Our coverage starting at 5:45 here on KTGR and the free Varsity Network app.
Mizzou extending their defense, full court man-to-man.
Then they change their mind and back it up to midcourt. Bringing it up right to left is Fields, and here's a zone look now from Mizzou, I believe, for the first time in the half court in this game. And Johnson just muffs a pass on the near left wing. An easy steal for Schreck.
They were trying to get organized, and she took her eye off the ball.
Top of the arc, Schreck for the Tigers. One dribble against Norfolk State's zone. Give it near side to Judd. Tried to pass it out of there, and it's tipped by Clark. Great hands from her. And that forces another jump ball. This time the arrow points Norfolk State's way.
Just got to take better care of the basketball.
So the turnovers starting to pile up here. That's 11 giveaways for Norfolk already, and that's turnover number 9 for Mizzou.
When you're not being efficient on offense, you've got to have every possession.
Near corner, Clark, who just got the steal, looks to the high post to Robinson. Reverse out top, tip, but it gets to Johnson. Great no-look bouncer down low to Robinson for the layup.
What a beautiful field from up top.
40-33, Norfolk State. 4:05 remaining in the third quarter.
You said Norfolk State has 4 returning starters, and you can see the chemistry's kicking in for them.
4 returning starters and their top 7 scorers from last year all back. Schreck at the top of the arc for Mizzou. Skips it near side to Wilson, who's still looking for her first points tonight. Reverse it back to Schreck on the left wing. Top of the arc to Judd. High post. Galakalandi couldn't handle the pass from Judd. Stolen away by Fields. Norfolk State trying to make their largest lead of the day. Top of the arc, Fields with the rock. Off the screen to her left, hands it off actually instead to the would-be screener Robinson. Now on the weave, middle of the floor, Clark, near side Fields. Shot clock at 10 as Fields shovels it to Clark. She goes hard to her left, double pump into the outstretched arms of Galakalandi, and it's out of bounds. Great D from Angie, just kept the hand straight up for the block.
Schmitter a step outside the paint and held her ground.
Slaughter, who's been quiet in this game with 5 points, subs in for Judd. 5 on the shot clock for the Spartans as they look to inbound underneath the basket to our left. Lob it to the near corner. Quick 3 up, but she was standing on the sideline. The shooter, Diamond Johnson, with another turnover.
Time for the Tigers to capitalize on these turnovers by using them in their offense.
3:20 to go, third quarter. Mizzou finds itself down by 7. They've trailed by as much as 8 in this game. Top of the arc, Schreck for Mizzou. Gives it near side to Slaughter. Near short corner, Randall just inside the arc. Feeds the post, Galakalandi. Backs down Robinson and kicks it out top. Schreck is open for 3 and missed it. Off to the left, rebound Clark for Norfolk State.
Great read by Galakalandi.
On the right wing, Clark for the Spartans. Under 3 minutes to go in the third. Off the screen to her right is Clark. Attacks Galakalandi. Throws it up. No. Galakalandi adjusted that shot as well. The rebound's out of bounds, though, off of Mizzou. Boy, Angie Galakalandi has been such a presence inside on both ends in this third quarter.
Absolutely. Slaughter and Sky Robinson fighting for that rebound, but it went off of Slaughter.
The star forward for Norfolk State, Wheeler, was out for a couple minutes. She's back in with those 3 fouls. And she receives the inbounds pass at the free throw line. Wants to hand it off, finds Richardson. She attacks to her right, cut off and bumped by Randall. When Randall bumps you, you know it. That is foul number 1 on Lanaya.
Richardson just went downhill full speed, was able to draw the contact.
So that moves the shot clock back up to 20 for the Spartans. Inbound try for Clark, lobs it out top. Schreck reads it, tips it and steals it. And now it's a foot race the other way. Schreck bouncing it ahead to a streaking Randall for the layup. And Mizzou's back within 5.
That could be a momentum changer.
Good read on that inbound. Schreck kind of hid down low there, and the inbounder Clark never saw her.
She pounced.
Yep, 40-35. Spartans with the lead in the ball. 2:20 to go in the third. Clark, top of the arc, gives it near side Robinson, high post. Pass too high for Wheeler. She bobbles it out of bounds. Mizzou forces another turnover. Gets it back with a chance to make it a 1-possession game, but first a timeout called by Larry Vickers and Norfolk State. Mizzou trying to get the momentum back in its favor in front of the home crowd. Trailing 40-35 here late in the third quarter. This is Mizzou women's basketball on the Central Bank Tiger Network from Learfield.
It's Michael Agnew with API Project Fitness. We're not just a gym, but a thriving community of individuals like yourself who are dedicated to improving their overall health and well-being. Our group classes are designed to be inclusive and to cater to individuals at all fitness levels. Our classes are tailored to challenge and to motivate you to achieve your goals. But don't just take my word for it. Experience the API difference yourself by trying any of our classes for free. Visit APIProjectFitness.com or call us at 573-268-6944. Let us help you live a healthier life. Join the API community today.
Those awesome benefits from a new job normally take a little while to kick in, but not at Hitachi Energy. You see, Hitachi is all about raising the bar and investing in their employees, which is why pay now starts at $23 to $27 an hour. And those benefits we talked about earlier, at Hitachi, they start day one. Hitachi Energy may inspire the world, but you inspire them. Apply today in Jefferson City or online at HitachiEnergy.com/careers. Inspire your future. Inspire the next. Hitachi Energy.
Tiger basketball plays here. KTGR.
2:14 to go in the third quarter. Mizzou is about to get the ball back, trailing 40-35 against Norfolk State. Mizzou coming in their first two games, a loss at Vermont and a win at home against Southern, on average forcing 18 turnovers per game. They're on an even better pace so far in this one. Norfolk State has already turned it over 14 times, and Mizzou has actually forced 3 turnovers in the last minute 54 of this game.
He's done an outstanding job of dictating on the defensive end, not allowing Norfolk State to get any easy looks. They've just got to learn how to cash that in on the other end.
Well, yeah, and how do you do that? Because Mizzou's only shooting 35% from the field right now.
Again, better ball movement, better attack. I thought we were more aggressive early in the game. Mizzou's got to continue to be aggressive, but take care of the ball as well.
Mizzou Athletics would like to thank our premier partners, MU Healthcare and Shelter Insurance. This game also brought to you by MU Healthcare, where over 800 doctors in 80-plus specialties never settle when it comes to your health. So individually, no one in double figures yet for Mizzou, but the top scorer is Randall. 9 points and 6 rebounds. She has a chance at her second straight double-double after she accomplished that feat in the win against Southern on Thursday. 8 points and 2 blocks for Gala Kalandi. 6 points for Judd, but she has turned it over 4 times. How many games have we seen, though, in the last few years where the top 2 scorers for Mizzou are the power forward and the center? That has not happened very often.
No. It's a physical game, and they're getting it done inside.
Meanwhile, for Norfolk State, 2 players with 11, Wheeler and Fields. The star guard, Diamond Johnson, just 6 points on 2 of 8 shooting.
Nobody in any foul trouble on either side except for Wheeler for Norfolk State with 3.
Abby Schreck in at the point for Mizzou, replacing Wilson. Top of the arc Slaughter for the Tigers against the zone. To Randall, to the post, Gala Kalandi. Backs down the smaller Robinson, powers it off the glass and in. 10 points for Gala Kalandi, 8 in the quarter.
You can just see her getting more confident, more aggressive inside, and exerting her will.
40-37 Norfolk State. 1:48 to play in the third here in Como. Top of the arc, Richardson for Norfolk State. Near corner, Johnson tiptoeing along the sideline. 2 dribbles and elevates from 19 feet and splashes it in. Way too much space for Johnson.
Because he's stuck on the screen and the screener's defender not hedging soon enough.
Kroenke gives it near wing to Schreck. 42-37 Norfolk State. 1:25 to play third quarter. Randall on the wing to the post, Gala Kalandi. Quick pass out of a double team to Kroenke, back to Randall. Now skip it near side to Schreck, touch pass to Slaughter. Back to Randall. Randall to the post, Gala Kalandi, and a foul from behind. Boy, Gala Kalandi, it's like almost like a black hole where it's just like everything is being sucked in toward her, and Norfolk State can't escape.
Well, and the defenders are wrapping an arm around Gala Kalandi. You can't have that kind of contact. You can have 1 point of contact. Usually that is from the back with your forearm or elbow, but they are wrapping it around, and it's a clear reach.
Foul number 1 on Robinson. That's the last foul Norfolk State had to give here in this third quarter. Kroenke will inbound for the Tigers underneath the basket to our right. Kroenke waiting, zips it near corner. Schreck, quick touch on a 3 off the back of the rim. Rebound controlled by Norfolk. Fields on the run out, looking ahead for a streaking Richardson. Challenging Slaughter, puts it in reverse. Layup short. Rebound Randall from Mizzou. Bad outlet pass stolen away. Layup missed by Fields. Randall another rebound. Successful outlet this time to Kroenke. Here come the Tigers. Kroenke in the paint to the trailing Schreck. Shot fake. D flies by. 1 dribble. 3 ball up and in. And a wild sequence ends in 3 points for Old Mizzou.
Good persistence by the Tigers.
Mizzou back within 2 now, 42-40. 40 seconds to go in the third. Tigers have trailed by as much as 8 in this period, clawing their way back. Top of the arc, Fields for the Spartans, goes to her right, gives it off on the perimeter to Williams. Top of the arc, Richardson with 10 to shoot. Richardson, couple dribbles against the taller Slaughter. Looks down low, Wheeler gets the touch. Bowls through Kroenke, offensive foul as Kroenke hits the deck. That's foul number 4 on the star Norfolk forward, Wheeler, a critical whistle.
We've talked about help side defense all game. Tigers are in position when those passes are coming in. Kroenke there before she received the ball.
And a little better offensive lineup subbing in here for likely the final possession of the third. Kroenke and Randall out, Shokvist and Judd in as the Tigers look to tie or reclaim the lead.
Now look for Galakalandi to try to make a living inside. She's going to be sealing up. She definitely has a size advantage.
Mizzou has not led since the first quarter. They could change that right here. Trailing 42-40, 23 seconds to go in the third.
Staff discussing what play they want.
And not really sure what this delay is about, to be honest here, as we wait for Mizzou to inbound the ball in its backcourt. Now we're ready. Shokvist, Judd, Slaughter, Galakalandi, and Shrek, the 5 Tigers on the floor. The shot clock is off. Shokvist has the ball poked away. Stolen by the Norfolk State player, who then gets tripped up by Shokvist. Williams forcing that steal. That was so good. She waited for Shokvist to look to the bench for Mizzou for the play, and then she knifed in while Shokvist wasn't paying attention and stole it.
Yep, Shokvist was trying to figure out what they were running and did not protect the ball with their hip.
Foul number 1 on Shokvist. Now Norfolk State will inbound with 15 seconds to go in the third. And Mizzou will make another offense-defense sub. Wilson and Randall in for Shokvist and Shrek.
It's good defensive setup, also good rebounding position if they can limit them to one shot.
Coach Vickers will counter with the MEAC's leading scorer a year ago, Johnson. She fans out to the corner away from the ball. Underneath the basket to our left. Fields will inbound. 15 seconds to go in the third. Quickly to Robinson. Top of the arc. Hands it off to Johnson. Johnson challenging Slaughter on the switch. Wild 15-foot runner in and out. Rebound Randall for Mizzou with 7. In the backcourt, Wilson with 5. With 4. Near midcourt with 3. With 2. With 1. Gets inside the arc. 15-foot runner trickles off to the right. And we go to the fourth quarter with Mizzou trailing Norfolk State 42-40. This is Mizzou women's basketball on the Central Bank Tiger Network from Learfield.
You could call it swagger. You could call it a vibe. You could call it confidence. You could call it cool. Or you could call it exactly as it is, Tiger Pride. Show your Mizzou spirit with the Tiger Checking Card, only from Central Bank. Sign up today at tigerchecking.com. Central Bank, strong roots, endless possibilities. Member FDIC.
Let Shelter Insurance take you to the zoo this football season. And we don't mean the zoo with the animals and the cotton candy. We're talking about the ZOU with the Mizzou Tigers. Contact a Shelter Insurance agent, and they'll register you for a chance to win 2 tickets to a Tiger home football game this season. Only Shelter agents can register you, so call, email, or drop by for your chance to win. Find an agent near you at shelterinsurance.com/Mizzou and register to win 2 tickets to the zoo. Black and Gold season never ends at the Tiger Team Store. Gear up for game day with the largest official selection of black and gold gear and gifts. From the latest Mizzou SEC gear to everything you need for your tailgate, the Tiger Team Store is your store for all things Mizzou. The Tiger Team Store is your official store of Mizzou Athletics. Open Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. until 5 p.m. with extended hours on game day. Located at Faroe Field or at TigerTeamStore.com. It's Black and Gold season at the Tiger Team Store.
The Missouri Tigers play on KTGR.
Well, just in case you had any nerves or fingernails left after that football game last night, it looks like we're going down to the wire again here in women's basketball. Mizzou trailing Norfolk State 42-40 as we get ready for the fourth quarter. With Kathy Wiesen, I'm Brad Trinago. Aiden O'Connor doing great work for us, running things at KTGR headquarters in South Columbia. Mizzou was able to chip in to that deficit that they built up in the third quarter. Took it from an 8-point hole to a 2-point hole. Now what needs to happen for Mizzou to get over the hump against the defending MEAC champions?
They're going to have to find a way to shoot the ball better, meaning better shot selection. But with Galakalandi inside and with the foul trouble for Wheeler, she should have a better advantage. I think the difference really is going to be who can pound the boards and separate whether it's on the defensive end and getting stops or the offensive ends and getting fouls.
You made a huge point about what's going on down low. Gala Kalandi scored 8 points in the third quarter. She has 10 overall to lead Mizzou. Wheeler, the defending MEAC Player of the Year, picked up her 4th foul in the final minute of that third quarter offensively, and she is on the bench as we start this fourth quarter. Mizzou breaks the huddle with Gala Kalandi, Schreck, Slaughter, Kroenke, and Judd, the 5 Tigers out there. Mizzou looking for its first lead since the first quarter as we begin the fourth. Gala Kalandi at the top of the arc. Hands it off back to Kroenke, middle of the floor. Left wing, Schreck to the post. Gala Kalandi backs down the reserve forward, scoops it up and in with the right hand. We're tied at 42.
Tremendous work with her footwork and then using her strength to get it finished.
Now Norfolk State's first possession of the fourth quarter. The Mizzou bench starting the chant of defense here for the home crowd. Fields, one of Norfolk's top scorers tonight, gives to Diawara top of the arc. Hand off to Johnson, covered tightly by Kroenke, gets around her, great feed down low, layup, missed point blank by Williams. Rebound tipped out of bounds by Mizzou, but boy, the Tigers got lucky there.
Gala Kalandi, though, helping to change the shot and get the ball tipped out of bounds.
That was a freaking dime by Johnson.
She can deliver.
She got robbed on the stat sheet by her teammate. Diawara was open for a moment down low, but Gala Kalandi steals the inbound. Tipped it to Judd, to Schreck in transition. Shot fake, fade away from 10 feet, missed it for the lead. Rebounds out of bounds off of Mizzou. Pretty looking play from Schreck, but she could not finish the shot.
The outstanding footwork to get the defender to go airborne.
Schreck goes to 2 of 7 from the field. Mizzou as a team just 38% shooting. But they've got this game tied at 42 with 9 minutes to play in the fourth. Near wing Williams, bounce at top of the arc. Johnson off a screen to her right. Covered by Judd. Johnson backs down, the taller Judd now barrels to her right. Scooper, Judd all over it. Swats that thing out of bounds.
She got beat a little bit, but her height behind was able to knock the ball out of bounds.
Judd, she came in as a pretty good defensive player, but I feel like she's just continued to grow in that department.
She's so physical.
8 on the shot clock as Norfolk inbounds it. Johnson top of the arc with 4, with 3, crosses left, step back, 18-footer cash. Diamond Johnson starting to heat up now. She's got 10.
She is going to work and taking her team on her back.
44-42 Norfolk State, 8:31 to play at Mizzou Arena. Kroenke covered tightly by Williams on the perimeter. Hands it off to Slaughter. Grace, who only has 5 points in this one so far. Mizzou's leading scorer on the year coming in. Hands it off to Judd. Ashton fakes the handoff to Schreck, now picks up the rock, needs some help, skips it near side to Slaughter with 5 to shoot, goes to her left, kicks it late to Kroenke, touch pass Judd, 3 for the lead, off to the left, off the backboard, and no good. Rebounds out of bounds off of Mizzou.
Tigers are getting sped up a little bit again and not getting shots in rhythm. You have to have your feet and hands ready, but you don't want to hurry. You've got to take your time and go up in rhythm.
Norfolk State 2-0 on the year coming in. Have never beaten a major conference program. Mizzou at 1-1 with a win against Southern on Thursday, a loss at Vermont on Monday. Fields, top of the arc for the Spartans, who lead by 4 with under 8 minutes to play. Hand off Robinson, back to Fields, who's left wide open. 3 again is good. That's the 4th three-pointer for Nia Fields with nobody around her.
The screen and roll above the three-point line. Nobody got back to the shooter.
So after Mizzou briefly tied the game early in the fourth, Norfolk State has responded with 5 in a row. Near wing Judd for the Tigers. Off the screen to her left to the screener Gala Kalandi. Powers on the right side of the lane. Layup good and the foul. Gala Kalandi continuing her biggest half as a Tiger.
Norfolk State double-teamed the ball up top, and Mizzou able to make the entry pass down low.
Gala Kalandi 6 of 7 from the field for her 14 points. And Norfolk State has no answer for the powerful grad student from New Hampshire.
We talked about it last year. She only got about 8 weeks in before she got injured, but she was just getting her rhythm. You're starting to feel that today, where she's really feeling her role and taking charge.
Foul number 3 on Diawara. Gala Kalandi, free throw up and short. Diawara has the rebound for Norfolk State.
You need that momentum once you got it going.
7:19 and counting to go in the fourth. Norfolk State with the ball and a 3-point lead here at Mizzou Arena. Johnson challenging Judd, turns the corner on her, shot fake at the foul line, dishes it off, gets it back. Now attacks down the middle of the lane. 14-foot teardrop's good for Diamond Johnson, who's up to 12 points.
When she receives the ball, her first step is so explosive. Mizzou's got to give a gap and make her take the outside shot.
Only had 3 points in the first half, but now the former all-conference performer at Rutgers and NC State starting to cook. Schreck, top of the arc for the Tigers, who trail by 5. Deep three for off the dribble from Schreck. It's in! What a time for that one from Abby.
2-point deficit for the Tigers. They've got to earn it back on defense and rebounding.
Mizzou had nothing going at all that possession, and Schreck just jacked it up, and it went down. Mizzou still down 2, 6:27 to go in the fourth. Fields on the right wing, lobs it out to Richardson, top of the arc. Richardson with 10 on the shot clock. 2 dribbles, barely able to hand it off to Johnson. Johnson, shot clock at 5, goes to her left, now back to her right, elevates from 17 feet with a hand right in her face and hits it. And Johnson is on a heater, folks.
I mean, Wilson had that hand in her face.
51-47, Norfolk State, under 6 minutes to go. Both teams trying to get subs in as Schreck gets loose again. Left wing 3, it's in! 4 3-pointer for Schreck. Mizzou within 1.
Not rushing her shot, in rhythm with her feet set when she receives the ball, as smooth as silk.
Now it's Schreck and Johnson going back and forth at each end. Fields top of the arc for the Spartans. Jabs to her right. Attacks Galakalandi, now looking for the kick out. They're face guarding Johnson, but she's still able to receive the pass around Wilson. Off the dribble, 19-footer, finally missed it. And she missed everything. It's an air ball. Ball to Mizzou as the Tigers look for their first lead since the first quarter.
Might be a little fatigue as she's been trying to do everything for them the last 3 possessions.
Wheeler with the 4 fouls is back in for the stretch run for Norfolk State. 1 more sub for the Spartans. Williams will replace Richardson. Mizzou has trailed the majority of this game. They were down as much as 8 in the third quarter before clawing their way back to currently down by only 1.
Set play for the Tigers in the half-court set.
Wilson at the right wing. Top of the arc, Judd. High post, Schreck. Schreck looking high-low, not there. Goes to Wilson instead. Out top, Schreck got open again. 3 for the lead. Bang! Abby Schreck, her 5th three-pointer. Mizzou's up a deuce.
That ties a career high of 3-pointers for Abby Schreck.
Under 5 minutes to go now as Mizzou extends the pressure. Johnson walks it up right to left. Double team. Jump pass out of it to Fields. Fans getting loud, loudest they've been today here at Mizzou Arena. Fields now on their left wing, hands it off to a driving Williams. Galakalandi comes to help, forces the layup, miss, grabs the rebound, but a foul down low on Mizzou. Well, the refs have been swallowing their whistles for a while until that one against Abby Schreck. That's just her 2nd personal. And that takes us to the final media timeout of regulation. Mizzou has come all the way back to lead by 2, 53-51, with 4:42 remaining in the fourth. Don't go anywhere. This is Mizzou women's basketball on the Central Bank Tiger Network from Learfield.
This is Mike Atkinson, owner of the Candy Factory. The Christmas season is a great time to express appreciation to your clientele and those who make your business world successful. If you need to buy gifts for one person or for a whole office full of people, the Candy Factory can easily customize a chocolate gift to meet your needs. If you're in charge of playing Santa for your business, show appreciation to those who make your professional life a success. Think gourmet chocolates and let the Candy Factory make you look good. The Candy Factory at the corner of 7th and Cherry in downtown Columbia.
Congratulations, you're having a little girl.
At that moment, everything changed. Our hopes and dreams for ourselves were instantly replaced by our hopes and dreams for her. We got life insurance policies from Shelter Insurance, so that regardless of what life throws at us, we'll still be able to provide the world to her.
Shelter Life Insurance Company, Columbia, Missouri.
Text or call me, Scott Priestmeyer, 573-447-8629. 573-447-8629.
This is Mizzou Hoops on KTGR.
4:42 to go in the fourth quarter of a fun one here in Columbia. Mizzou leading the defending MEAC champions, Norfolk State, 53-51. For Mizzou, Abby Schreck has caught fire. She has 15 points, 5 of 8 from 3 to lead all scorers. Galakalandi's right behind her with 14. For Norfolk State, Fields has 14. She's made 4 3-pointers. And Diamond Johnson, their star player coming in, has 14. Most of those coming in the fourth quarter, Kathy. What do you think should be some of the defensive adjustments to try and, in my opinion anyway, have somebody else beat you?
She's so quick with the ball, so you have got to give a little bit more space and force an outside shot, but you're probably going to have to double team her, because if she gets in the paint or gets one step on you, she's going to get to the rim.
Meanwhile, for Mizzou offensively, obviously lately it's been Shrek, but Galakalandi's had a big second half too. What do you think the points of emphasis should be on that end?
Keep doing what they're doing. I like the touches inside to Galakalandi, because she's making great decisions of whether to go with it or to find the kick out, and Shrek is hot, baby, so you better find her.
Mizzou trying to get to 2-1 on the young season. Norfolk State coming in with a 2-0 record. 0 wins all time, though, against major conference schools. The Spartans last season went 27-6, lost their NCAA tournament first-round matchup against Stanford.
Don't go anywhere, because with 4:42, both teams have 3 timeouts, so this one's going to be a slow drain to the end.
Lots of timeouts and lots of fouls to give, too. Only 1 foul has been called on both sides in this fourth quarter. Speaking of foul issues, remember Wheeler, the star forward for Norfolk State, has personal fouls, and Norfolk State nearly, a delay of game warning on Mizzou for stepping over defending the inbound. Inbound, Shrek nearly on another steal, but it's tipped as it gets to Wheeler. She attacks a double team, throws it up, it's blocked. Loose ball, Norfolk gets it back to Johnson for a wide open 3 that's good. Bad break for Mizzou there as the deflection goes to the star Johnson, and the Spartans are back in front by 1.
Just a broken play that went their way.
Slaughter top of the arc for the Tigers to Judd on the weave to Wilson now. Wilson goes to her right to the free throw line. Here comes Shrek off a screen. Defense closes out, looks down low for Galakalandi, but it's tipped and stolen away. Here come the Spartans right to left. Fields, who's made 4 3-pointers already, doesn't pull the trigger this time. She'll back it out and set up the offense.
Mizzou and man, they've got to be more aggressive, not sit and watch. They've got to dictate the tempo here.
Shrek covering Fields in that man-to-man defense. Fields fans to her right to the far wing. Now skip it near side to Wheeler with 9 to shoot. Johnson goes back door, weaves her way into traffic, kicks it over to Fields for a rhythm 3. It's short. Rebound. Good box out from Slaughter, but couldn't hold the ball. It's out of bounds and touched last by Mizzou. Slaughter and Galakalandi, I think they ripped the ball away from each other there.
They're both battling for it. They had the seal off.
So a free possession, if you will, for Norfolk State. Richardson in. Randall's been sitting for a while. She'll sub in now for Slaughter.
Kind of doing offense to defense here, putting Randall on the defensive end.
And Randall's covering Johnson. Post feed, Wheeler, one-on-one against Galakalandi. Barrels in, throws up a wild one off the glass, no good. Rebounds tipped out of bounds, and a foul called on Norfolk State. Flying in was Diawara, and too aggressively for the officials' liking. That's foul number 4 on another Spartan starter, Diawara.
Not allowing any second chance points there, which was critical.
Those have been the 2 main people guarding Galakalandi, by the way, Diawara and Wheeler. Right now it's Wheeler covering Galakalandi down low. Mizzou down 1, 3.5 minutes to go. Wilson on the near right wing. Gives it top of the arc to Randall. Randall, couple righty dribbles, barely bouncing it to Wilson. Back to Randall, mid-range, 10 to shoot. Paint touch, Galakalandi goes left, hooks it up, it's blocked by Wheeler clean. Scooped up along the baseline by Fields.
That needed to be a kick out. There was a triple team on Galakalandi.
Quick kick ahead, quick 3-ball up and short from Richardson. Thank you very much. Rebound, Mizzou. Coach Vickers with his head in his hands after that quick shot from Richardson, who only has 7 points in this game. Maybe a sophomore mistake. Judd left wing for the Tigers down 1. Barrels in on Wheeler, kicks it near wing to Wilson. Wilson back out top to Shrek. 5 3-pointers for Abby Shrek today. Off a Galakalandi screen to her left. Back right with 5 to shoot. To Judd with 3 to shoot. 2. Gets in the paint. Double pump layup. No, but a foul. 2 free throws for Judd to potentially give Mizzou the lead back.
Excellent ball movement. Excellent patience by the Tigers. And Judd seeing a seam and able to get herself inside.
That's foul number 2 on Fields. Judd is 1 for 2 from the line today. Last season, though, 81% from the charity stripe. And she's near that percentage so far this season. First shot for the tie. Perfect.
Tigers in the bonus the rest of the way.
No, just the
No,
third.
sorry. I'm sorry. So looking at the half.
Yep, just 3 team fouls. One more for Judd. Missed it. Offensive rebound, though, for Randall. Gives it to Wilson. Fresh life this possession for Mizzou. Tied at 54, 2.5 minutes to go. Wilson dribbling on the Tiger Oval here at Mizzou Arena, waiting for the offense to get set. Now off a Schreck ball screen. Wilson to Galakalandi near midcourt. Back to Schreck, just free to shoot two. Schreck goes hard to her right, hoists up a wild 19-footer. It clangs off the backboard and the rim, no good. Judd gets the rebound, though, saves it into Wilson. And again, Mizzou extends the possession.
We must have 9 lives today, but we better start using one of them.
Shot clock bleeding down quickly again, under 7 as Wilson looks to attack, cut off. With 5 to shoot, looking down low, not there. Goes near wing to Randall instead with 2 to shoot. 1 gets to the cup, missed the layup off the backboard. Rebound Diawara for the Spartans. Double teamed, kicks it to Johnson, but Coach Vickers, while Diawara was in danger, was already calling for time.
Lots of opportunities that the Tigers couldn't cash in on.
1:51 to go in the fourth, tied up at 54. Mizzou led briefly early in the game, trailed by 1 at the end of the first quarter, trailed by 3 at halftime, got down as much as 8 in the third, but started to chip away at the end of the third quarter, thanks in large part to Galakalandi's work offensively down low. Mizzou trailed by 2 at the end of the third, and Abby Schreck, three-pointer a couple minutes ago, gave the Tigers their first lead since the fourth quarter. And now we're going back and forth with the game tied up at 54. The Spartans have the ball. They've got 2 timeouts left. Mizzou has 3. Both teams have a couple fouls to give.
An incredibly important defensive stop here in terms of momentum as well. If Mizzou can get the stop and the score with the home court advantage here in the fans, that could turn the tide.
Crowd coming out on a gorgeous day here in Columbia, fresh off the wild comeback win for Mizzou football over Oklahoma. You got a great volleyball matchup against South Carolina coming up this evening across the road at the Hearn Center. Men's hoops on Monday, back to women's hoops against Tulane on Tuesday night.
Mizzou showing a full court zone look. Looks like a 2-2-1 press.
Now, low-key, keep in mind here, Norfolk State's only got 6 seconds to inbound this after they took a while for the timeout. Johnson in the backcourt. Brings it up quickly with her left hand, gets across, passes it up into the front court, but it's deflected before it gets to the intended target. Randall bats it out of play.
So important for the Tigers to be the aggressor on defense here. Not react, but get out and dictate.
Inbound in the backcourt to Fields. Brings it across the midcourt stripe again. Gives to Wheeler, handoff back to Fields. Gives it out top, Johnson, shot fake, drive, step back, foul on the floor before Johnson could get the shot off as Wilson was put in the spin cycle there trying to fight through a bunch of screens. And Wilson commits her third personal.
Johnson's so quick with the basketball. Her first step is explosive.
Just the second team foul on Mizzou here in the fourth. Got to get to 5 for the bonus free throws, remember. Inbound to the corner, Diawara, now to Johnson on the near left wing. Tie game. Minute and a half to go. Johnson to her left. Double team. Jump pass over the top of it. Finds Richardson to the corner. Fields. Quick contested 3. It's in and out. Rebound Mizzou. Randall gobbles it up for her 10th board of the day.
Veteran player doing the work.
Now Mizzou will trot it up in a tie game. Wilson on the near wing. Covered by Johnson, and now a man-to-man look for the Spartans. Wilson out top to Judd. Paint touch. Galakalandi seals the defender. Wheeler from behind blocks it. And I got to be honest, I thought that went off Galakalandi on the carom off the backboard. And if this gets reviewed, I think Norfolk's going to get the ball. Shot clock's at 9. And we have a delay here. The ball was ruled off of Norfolk State after the block shot by Wheeler.
Galakalandi did a good job of turning the corner and shielding her. Wheeler was able to get over the top, but we're not sure, and you're exactly right, Brad. They're going to review.
And again, from my angle, I thought that went, after it was blocked, it went off the bottom of the backboard, then it went off Galakalandi's shoulder, and then it went out of bounds. That's what I saw. We'll see if the officials see the same thing here. A critical review, obviously, with the game tied at 54 and just a 1:02 remaining.
Either way, you're at a tie game with 1:02, and it's going to come down to one possession for each team, likely.
So you're going to, Mizzou is almost certainly going to get at least one more crack at this. And honestly, from Mizzou's perspective, the fact that they have not fouled very much in this fourth quarter could come back to bite them if they're behind because they'd have a lot of fouls, but hopefully that won't end up becoming an issue.
If it does go Norfolk State's way, this is an interesting call for Coach because they only have 2 timeouts. So do you use a timeout to advance, or you just take your time, walk it up? Probably not use the timeout now, but we'll see what happens.
Neither team has exactly lit it up offensively here in this fourth quarter. Norfolk State has not scored at all for about 3.5 minutes. Mizzou has not had a field goal for more than 4 minutes.
If it does become the Tiger ball, the shot clock is at 9. So you would have it inbounds under the basket, but you would have to produce something very quickly.
The officials appear to be wrapping up their review. Again, the lead official, Angelica Suffren, who called the national championship game between South Carolina and Iowa.
It's Norfolk's ball.
In March and April. And yes, it will be Norfolk State's ball. And again, from my perspective, I thought that was the correct call. And you got to give credit to Wheeler. That was a great defensive play to block that shot without fouling.
Yes, to be that aggressive when she's in that situation was outstanding. Now Mizzou again applying full court pressure, looks like man-to-man.
Well, and again, with the fouls to give, they have the luxury to be aggressive here. If you're overly aggressive and you commit a foul on the floor, it's not a huge deal. Inbound in the backcourt to Wheeler. Now bounce it back to Fields. Under a minute to go now. We're tied at 54. Fields for the Norfolk State Spartans, champions of the MEAC NCAA tournament team a year ago. On the near wing, Wheeler. Top of the arc, Diawara reversing it to Fields' right wing against the Mizzou man-to-man. Trying to feed the post. There's Wheeler about 15 feet out making the catch. ISO'd against Galakalandi. Now the double team comes, splits it, throws it up and in. Mimi Wheeler puts Norfolk State in front by 2 with under 40 seconds to play.
Playing like a veteran.
Wilson for the Tigers. Has it at the top of the arc. Mizzou trying to get organized offensively here, still waiting, and now here we go. Wilson the right side, gives it to Schreck back near midcourt. Schreck crosses to her left, dishes to the corner to Randall. She goes baseline with 7 on the shot clock, double team. Bounce it out to Schreck with 5 to shoot, to Wilson with 4. Naya drives with 3, with 2. Fade away from 15, misses badly off the backboard, did not touch rim. It's a shot clock violation. The ball will go to Norfolk State, I think, before the ball went out of bounds.
Yes.
And yes, shot clock violation with 8.7 seconds to go. Timeout Norfolk State, and they'll bring the ball up into their front court. And now the negative scenario that I was bringing up earlier has happened. Mizzou has to foul 3 times just to get Norfolk State to the free throw line. And again, with 8.7 seconds remaining, even if it takes a second before each foul, you're not going to have a lot of opportunity to respond offensively. And if Norfolk State were to score 2 points or more on this possession, the game would essentially be over.
And you have to make sure that it doesn't become a foul that becomes an intentional foul.
Yep. That is true. Now for Mizzou, nobody's in danger of fouling out. Wilson does have 3 fouls, but at this point, there's nothing you can do about it. You've got to either steal or foul somebody to stop the clock and eventually get the Spartans to the free throw line.
I would take the man off the ball and try to double team Diamond Johnson.
Mizzou has forced 16 Spartan turnovers in this game. Fields inbounding far sideline. Looking, having some trouble, gets it into Diawara, barely in time, and a quick foul by Schreck. Coach Pinchton hopping up and down on the floor for a 5-second count, does not get the whistle she was hoping for. Foul number 3 on Schreck.
It's awfully close.
0.6 of a second ran off. That's team foul number 3. And Avery Kroenke, one of Mizzou's best perimeter defenders, will sub in now for Schreck. 8.1 seconds to go. Norfolk State ball up by 2. Wheeler will inbound. Galakalandi turns her back to the inbounder, trying to help out on D. Getting it into Johnson, and Kroenke gives her a quick bear hug. That's the last foul Mizzou had to give. Less than a second ran off. 7.4 seconds now to play. Foul number 1 on Kroenke.
They can keep it at 6 as they go to the free throw line. That's a lot of time.
Hannah Linthicum will sub in for the Tigers. She'll replace Galakalandi here. Let's see if she'll guard the inbounder. Hannah is long and springy, so she's going to make it hard for Fields to see. Fields to inbound, bouncing it for Wheeler near midcourt. Judd has to give the foul, and it'll be Mimi Wheeler who hit what, as of now, would be the game-winning basket going to the free throw line to shoot 2 free throws and essentially ice this game if she makes them both.
Tigers did as best as they could. It was at 8 seconds plus, and they only lost to 6.7 seconds.
Wheeler has not shot a free throw today, but so far this season, she's just 3 of 8 from the free throw line. If she misses one of these, that would leave the door cracked open for the Tigers. Got to get a rebound, though, right?
Yes,
if she does miss it.
Got to seal off.
With the crowd howling, Wheeler bounces in the first. And now 1 free throw away from what would arguably be the biggest win in the history of Norfolk State women's basketball. Wheeler puts it up and airballs it short. Oh my goodness, Mizzou doesn't even have to get a rebound. It's out of bounds, timeout Mizzou. Tigers will advance it into the front court, down by 3 with 6.7 seconds to go.
From half court, plenty of time to be able to produce a 3-point shot.
Larry Vickers put his head in his hands after that air ball from Wheeler. Usually once you bounce in the first one, the second one is a no-doubter if you're someone at Wheeler's skill level. But with that being said, Wheeler had the defensive play of the game on the Gala-Kalandi block shot.
Absolutely.
As of now, the offensive play of the game on the made field goal with less than a minute to play. So if you're Mizzou, I think the answer is clearly Abby Schreck, ideally. She's made 5 threes today, but you do have some other good three-point shooters for their careers. What do you try to do to get something to tie this game and force overtime?
Well, the most important thing is to get a screening action to get the ball in safely, and you can have 2 or 3 options for the 3 immediately on the inbound pass. But with 6 seconds, you have opportunity to penetrate the paint and get a kick out to a wide open rhythm shooter as well.
A couple of things to keep in mind here. 1, Norfolk State has a foul to give, and I would not be surprised if they don't give that just to run more time off the clock and get a look at Mizzou's inbounds play. 2, Mizzou has 2 timeouts remaining, so if they have any issues on this sideline inbound in their front court, they can burn those and regroup.
Absolutely.
Norfolk State 57, Mizzou 54, 6.7 seconds to go. Wilson will inbound. Slaughter, Judd, Hannah Linthicum, and Schreck, the other Tigers out there with her. Wilson to trigger in front of her own bench. Tigers got to have a 3. Wilson to Judd inside the arc, drives the baseline with 5, shovels it to Schreck with 3, and Johnson knocks the ball out of bounds off of whom? With 2.6 seconds remaining. It's initially ruled Mizzou's ball, but I wouldn't be surprised if this is reviewed. Diamond Johnson on defense seems confident this ball is going to go to Norfolk State, and she knocked it off of Schreck. We'll see what the monitor says, and boy, first look at the replay, I think it was off of Schreck's leg.
That would be a bad break if that's the case.
Norfolk State had that inbounds play defended exceptionally well there. Mizzou did what you kind of suggested, Kathy. Go ahead and go inside the arc, and the defense just by reflex collapsing in, even though they shouldn't. And she tried to pass it back out beyond the arc to Schreck, but Johnson was not fooled and may have knocked that ball off of Abby Schreck's leg and caused another Tiger turnover.
Well, and the pressure that was on Judd when she made the pass made it very difficult for her to make a pocket pass to Schreck.
So Mizzou was able to get their first lead since the fourth quarter in the first. Get their first lead since the first quarter in this fourth frame. But Norfolk State has come back to lead by 3. And now the officials are reviewing to see if Mizzou's going to keep the ball with under 3 seconds to go.
If Mizzou would have it, it's on the far left baseline. Now you're going to have some screening action so you can get a catch and shoot.
The review continuing here. Diamond Johnson started slow but had 14 second half points. She has 17 overall. Wheeler, the defending conference player of the year, over her teammate Johnson, who's the preseason conference player of the year this season. Wheeler with 14 points, 8 rebounds, 4 blocks, and the, as of now, game-winning field goal in this contest. Fields, the best outside shooter in this game. And after review, Mizzou's going to keep the ball. Ooh, boy.
There are some miracles.
That was definitely close. And again, I didn't have the best angle. That was on the far sideline relative to where we're at. So Mizzou keeps the ball down 3, 2.6 seconds to go. As Kathy mentioned, it's a tricky inbound spot. kind of in the corner. Wilson will handle it. Tigers still needing a 3 to tie. And Norfolk State still with a foul to give. Wilson receives the ball from the official. Waiting, still waiting, and Coach Pinston's going to have to burn a timeout. Players didn't realize it, but Coach Pinston with her arm around Angelica Suffren's waist, the official, called timeout clearly in time. The Norfolk State bench and the players didn't hear it, but I had a pretty good ear on that, and Coach Pinston realized that play was not working.
What they tried to do on that play was they tried to run a delayed play where Shrek came through a gate that they would close, but it was jammed up well by Norfolk State.
57-54, Norfolk State leading Mizzou. Tigers have the ball, 2.6 seconds remaining, 1 timeout remaining for the Tigers as they try to come up with something to extend this game into overtime.
The Tigers all lined up on that side of the floor. I think you're going to have to spread out to pull the defense out a little bit to give yourself some spacing to create a screening situation.
Norfolk State third in the nation in terms of points allowed last season. And they put the clamps on Mizzou so far in this game, and Mizzou's going to go ahead and burn another timeout here, their final one, to make sure everyone is on the same page.
There's a plus and a minus to that, because if you can't inbound the ball, you're going to be in trouble. But you're right. You want to make sure everybody knows you have a whole new crew here who's doing last-second situations. So you want to make sure that everybody understands their role and responsibility.
Right. I mean, the number one thing is you got to make sure everyone knows what they're doing on the play. So you got to make sure to get that right. College kids, new team, really, with a lot of new players. So that's the thought process there. But again, the margin of error is completely gone now as the Tigers break the huddle with Wilson inbounding, Linthicum as a screener, Judd, Slaughter, and Shrek as your shooting threats.
I would like to see, they're pretty hot on Shrek. I think Judd might have an opportunity as well.
Maybe use Shrek as a screener too. Wilson from the corner, inbounding underneath the basket to our right, looking, still looking. Gives it short, looking for Shrek. It's tipped by Fields out of bounds, still in that corner. Another second runs off. 1.7 seconds remaining. Mizzou again out of timeouts. Wilson technically on the sideline in the corner now will inbound it.
You're doing the same play, it appears.
Wilson receives the ball again from the official. Mizzou down 3. Wilson looking short to Shrek. Fadeaway 3 is short, and Norfolk State, for the first time ever, has defeated a major conference school. The final score, 57-54. The Spartans are 3-0 on the year. Mizzou drops to 1-2. Post-game next. This is Mizzou women's basketball on the Central Bank Tiger Network from Learfield.
The Club at Old Hawthorne is a terrific golf course with amazing practice facilities, which is why the Mizzou golf teams play here. Here's what you might not know. The Club at Old Hawthorne is a community with a welcoming environment that's a perfect fit for an active lifestyle. Golf, tennis, pickleball, swimming, and a fitness center with classes all at one club. The Club at Old Hawthorne. Visit oldhawthorne.com to learn more or schedule a tour. I'm Mike Kelly, the voice of the Missouri Tigers. How much do I love Old Hawthorne? I live here.
It's time to get back into routine that focuses